Despite being an island nation of just 5 million people, the majority of whom live in a few population centres, New Zealand's sparsely populated rural areas are home to a simply mind-blowing selection of public toilets. From the weird,
So it almost looks like the neck of a dinosaur to me.
to the wonderful,
Like a church inside?
the practical,
Soap and anti-bac.
to the novelty,
Have you ever been to the toilet in a giant dog?
we believe this country could lay claim to having the world's greatest public toilets. After travelling the length of the country in search of exotic places to spend a penny, today we are going to show you some of our favourites. So let's start off with the bog standard, bog, to give you an idea of the high level of cleanliness and amazing additions you can expect, even in a rural area. Then later on we will show you some of the amazing novelty loos that you can find up and down the country.
So this morning we woke up in this absolute stunner of a national park, whose name I would rather not butcher, to be honest. Now, as this is a natural beauty spot and we want to care for the environment, what does that mean when it comes to doing your morning business? Are you going to have to go around searching the entire national park for a scary long drop toilet? Are you going to have to in a bag and take it home with you so as to protect the environment? Well, my friends, you'll be relieved to know that is certainly not the case here. Now, fortunately for us, in the middle of this rural part of New Zealand is this absolutely amazingly beautiful toilet block. It's in absolutely pristine condition. Let's go check it out. Now, we've got a sit-down toilet with a toilet seat, which is an absolute luxury, of course. Flushing water, toilet roll, a complimentary toilet roll, all the way out here. There's a little bin for sanitary products down there. Also got running water and soap, so you can stay nice and hygienic on the road. Absolutely amazing. There's also a cheeky little changing room, so if you've gone for a dip in the sea and you want to dry off, this is the place to come. And possibly my favourite room is in here, an entire urinal room. Absolutely amazing, because you know what? Us blokes, we can be a little bit filthy, can't we? And so if we're doing a number one, I think it's much better that we don't mess up the regular toilets and we can come in here. There's also a water fountain and a tap so that you can restock your fluids after spending a penny here. So Nico, how was your morning poo?
I haven't had it yet. These toilets are bloody lovely. And because there's a cyclone coming, there's a nice through draft to get it well ventilated.
Yeah, if you've watched any of our other New Zealand videos, then you will know that the authorities have to deal with all kinds of extreme weather and geographical challenges, which makes the high levels of upkeep all the more remarkable. But of course, not every nature toilet is as fancy as this one, as we discovered when hiking a trail close to Rotorua.
Not one of the nicest toilets I've been to in New Zealand. Luckily, I always come prepared from my years living in China with a pack of tissues. Oh my god, there is toilet paper. Whoa, we're on a nature track and there's toilet paper.
Here she is.
No flush, just a handful of sawdust. And actually, they don't smell very bad, like it's hot, it's a hot day.
Do you know why they don't smell very bad?
Oh, there's a vent.
Normally, if you're outside, it's so hot, it doesn't have a flush. You know, it gets a bit stenchy. I've been to some bad toilets in my time.
Oh, this one looks a lot better than it smells.
But honestly, it didn't even smell.
Full disclosure, we did come across one toilet that was a little on the stinky side during our time in New Zealand though.
Just been for a swim in the river, we parked up in a car park in the middle of absolute nowhere, I'm not gonna lie. But look what I've just found, this super cute little public toilet. Let's go have a look inside, eh? Whoop. Okay, first impression is this one does smell a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I think it probably doesn't get visited by council workers very often because it's way out in the countryside. But hey, can't fault them, at least they're providing a toilet. It is basically just a long drop toilet, so there's no flushing water, no soap unfortunately, no hand washing facilities, but to be fair, we are in the absolute middle of nowhere, and if you are coming to a place like this, then you want to bring some anti-bac with you anyway for hygiene reasons, I suppose.
Even when the toilets are a little on the rudimentary side, more often than not, the beautiful natural surroundings more than make up for it, as we discovered when we visited Lake Tarawera.
Now inside this unassuming shed is something that I would like to show you. Right, down here we've got our standard pisser, complete with a flush and a little bin for putting your sanitary products in. 2 rolls of toilet roll, so you know you ain't gonna get caught short. They've got soap and antibac, so you can double wash your hands. We've got a nice little sink as well. You're probably thinking, well, that's all pretty standard. Yeah, I have the same in my house. Well, I tell you what, I bet your house don't have a view like this. Bloody hell, look at this.
Not impressed? Well, let me present to you a novelty roadside attraction which you won't be able to drive past.
Have you ever been to the toilet in a giant dog? Neither have I, but that all changes today.
Uh-oh, looks like the tour group just arrived to beat us to it. You want more now?
Have you ever been to the toilet in a giant dog? Well, neither have I, but that changes today. Toilet rating. Definitely better from the outside than the inside. The inside was pretty boring, albeit very, very clean as they had just cleaned it, but just a normal toilet. But from the outside, it looks pretty sick.
If you'd like to know the story of how this sheep and dog ended up on the side of the road in a small town, then watch our first video in our New Zealand series, because right now we need to show you another roadside attraction that has attracted international fame.
Alright, first impression, Nico?
They're a little bit smaller than they look online, and I certainly didn't expect them to be on a very busy roundabout. I think you probably could have got a little bit nicer of a location, but they're still pretty sick. But the real test of any toilet isn't what it looks like on the outside, it's what it's like inside. It's a lot bigger now that I'm like here and close to it.
How was that?
Oh, it's lovely. It's like a church inside because it's got this stained glass window and the door's a beautiful shape. Not quite as clean as some toilets I've been to in the past, but I guess it gets a lot of through traffic because it's like a tourist attraction.
This tourist attraction, come art installation, come public restroom was a result of a design competition held by the residents of Matana. After a local student submitted the winning design, these took 7 years and a lot of money to complete. But I think they're worth every penny. Whilst this design is meant to stand out from the crowd, high up in the Tongariro National Park, nestled among active volcanoes, you'll find a public loo that is designed to blend into the natural surroundings.
Wow, so we're all the way up the top of a volcano. To one side of me is the iconic Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings. And then just behind me is a trio of public toilets, literally halfway up a volcano. And the best part is they've really gone to the extra length to try to make them blend into local environment with a little bit of camo. Let's go check them out. Just your basic long drops, with a few flies buzzing around to be fair, but we are halfway up the volcano, so I'm gonna let that one slide, I think.
I think it's great to have like good facilities so that nature doesn't get ruined and they blend in with the surroundings, which looks very nice.
The camouflage is commendable, but could lead you to walking straight past a public toilet during a long hike.
From far away I just thought it just looked like a rock, but it's actually made from lots of little rocks. Really fits in with the landscape.
I just love the abstract shape. Really mimics the mountains that surround it here in the Mount Cook National Park. Wow, what a setting. Don't even need the loo, but I'm gonna go anyway just because it's so bloody beautiful. I mean, considering it's halfway up the mountain, I would say, yeah, it's not a bad nick. Yes, of course, it's not 5-star luxury, but it'll do if you need to take a poo.
If you don't have the legs or the motivation to hike up to such remote locations, then you needn't worry, because Smackbang in the centre of New Zealand's capital Wellington are the wackiest toilets of all.
It was quite hard to get parked because they're right in the centre of the city.
Yeah, absolute ball ache, mate. But my God, are they worth it? What a cool design.
Yeah, they're more like a sculpture than a toilet. So again, if you didn't know what they were, you'd probably just think it was a piece of art.
These designer dunnies are an amazing sight to behold, but inside there are a few interesting touches too.
We've got this kind of random sort of benchy thing. I guess you could come in here, lock the door and have a little nap if you wanted to. We've got the usual mod cons of any toilet. Flushing, good to see. No hand soap that I noticed. So that's obviously been ripped off the wall at some point. There is a little sign saying that you should ring the management if there's any issues. So maybe I'll give them a little ring later, tell them they need to add a bit of hand soap to the toilet. And they smell pretty clean as well. And I reckon that's probably something to do with this huge ventilation shaft. So there's this long funnel slash chimney that's clad in this amazing corrugated iron panels. It almost looks like the neck of a dinosaur to me, or a lobster or something. What do you guys think? Anyway, here's where the ventilation obviously comes out. So not only does it look cool, but it does serve a purpose too.
And whilst we're on the metal-clad toilet theme, how could I forget to mention the incredible loos that can be found in the giant redwood forest in Rotorua.
These toilets are absolutely gorgeous from the outside. I love the way that they look really aesthetic and part of the scenery by looking like a tree bark, but inside they're pretty much just a portaloo. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, Nico's absolutely right. They are actually just quite a simple box design inside, but they do have these amazing metallic outer shells. And these look especially amazing at night because there's basically lights inside and it's illuminated through these beautiful artistic holes that were cut out inside. What a beautifully designed toilet shell. And they go even better with the amazing redwood surroundings. Like, it really matches perfectly. So the metal's actually kind of corroded as well, which gives it a reddish tinge that matches the bark perfectly.
So guys, let us know which were your favourite toilets and are there any that we missed from our list? This was the final video in our New Zealand series, so join us next time when we will be heading to Bali to explore some of the lesser known parts of the island by van.